Welcome back to a very special, a very exclusive episode of We've Done the MAFS. I'm Jules Rangiheue.
And I'm Chantel Schmidt. And today we have Australia's hottest new couple, Duncan and Evelyn, joining us on the couch.
I can't wait. Let's get them on right now. How does it feel to be the hottest couple to ever come out of Australian reality TV?
You're so answering that one. I'm not answering that one.
I think it's pretty easy if you got Ev next to you. So, yeah, she's the better looking one in this relationship, so.
Stop it.
They say that you should always feel like you're punching, right? Like you should always really...
Yeah, you should always feel like you're a bit lucky, right?
Yeah.
So constantly remind Ev of that she's lucky and she does to me too.
Guys, oh my God, we've been waiting for this for so long. Honestly, we've had Ev in here before. Obviously, we've met you before at the Nova party. You guys were together at the Nova party?
Yeah, we were. But we kept very far apart from each other that night.
Yeah, I think we almost made it a little too obvious. Like some of our friends were like, why aren't you and Duncan talking? Because obviously we were friends during the experiment and we were like, okay, we better not blow it. So we barely made eye contact.
I found that too because I was thinking back to that party, Shance, and I was like, I don't think they were sitting anywhere near each other. You hit that so well.
Thank you.
So, couple name, did I hear this right? Duncan?
Yeah, there was Duncan, there was...
Devlin.
Don't know if we like that one.
Surely not just Devon. As soon as I heard your names together, I thought that is a hard Devon.
Yeah, that's good. I don't mind that. Dallas as well. Obviously, Ev's last name's Ellis and put a D at the front. So
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't come up with your own name, can you? Someone else has to.
Well, who came up with those names for you?
Janelle did for some of them. The OG. We love that girl. I don't know who came up with the rest. Is there anyone else in the cast that did?
No, I think Janelle was the creative director of our name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Janelle.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously we know you guys got together after MAFS.
Yeah.
But what was it like meeting each other on MAFS? Like, what was the vibe on the show?
Should I take this?
Yeah, sure.
I obviously thought Duncan was attractive straight away, but you know, you got to get to know someone a little more. So it was more after the experiment when we really, really connected. And in hindsight, it's such a weird situation to meet someone that you genuinely really, really like. But yeah, I'm really thankful for MAFS for introducing me to Duncan.
Okay, were you secretly so stoked you got paired together for the couple swap? Don't lie to us.
I actually didn't know what to think because I thought I knew how MAFS was going to go, and then that was obviously a brand new thing that had never happened before. I had no idea what it was going to be like. I didn't know if I was even going to be able to like have a good conversation with Evelyn because I hadn't really had much interaction with her during the show at all. So honestly, like didn't know how it was going to go. And yeah, well, I mean, we just had a good time. But when you're on the show, you're so like, it's such a pressure cooker and you're so in your, like I guess focused on trying to work through your own stuff, and there's all these other things coming at you, and obviously the show puts all those challenges in to try to make sure that you can sort of test your relationship. And I don't know, for me it was, I didn't have like, I guess blinkers on or anything, but it was just like I was really focused on trying to work through something that obviously, couldn't work and didn't work in the end.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Evelyn was giving me eyebrows from across the couch. I'm like, should I be picking up on something?
No. What I will say is that when we did do the couple swap, I think nothing happened, but we did stay up talking, drinking wine till like, what was it? Like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And that scene when we had to write confessional letters, we were a little bit hung, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were a bit rusty.
We thought we were staying up late, but then we heard all the other swaps were up as late as us or later. We had people sort of walking through hallways and knocking on doors, very naughty. Even the Harrisons and the Melindas of the world stayed up drinking and having a good chat together.
Yeah, well, for me, when you bring up that letter challenge, That for me, it's not the sexy photo shoot where I was like, oh, these two. It was when you read the letter out to Evelyn, and Evelyn, you were so supportive. Just as an observer, that's what I saw, and I thought that you were really supportive of him, and obviously you were being really vulnerable in that moment.
Yeah.
That's what stood out to me as these two could be good together.
Yeah, we definitely started with a really, really good friendship before anything else, that's for sure.
Now, Ev, you're a girl's girl.
I am.
You would tell us straight. Did something change in you with the sexy kitchen photo shoot? Did you think, oh, this might be my man?
No, I was actually taking the piss out of Duncan.
So nothing,
Yeah,
no
I was
feelings?
teasing him. No.
Okay.
Sorry, babe, the apron scene didn't get me.
No, she was being creative director, and it felt cringe but funny, and I was trying to do something.
Were you trying to tense at all? It seemed very sexy.
Oh, she's holding my breath a lot.
Yeah, amazing. Well, have you watched any episodes back and cringed at some of the conversations you had together?
Oh, there was plenty of times that I cringed over things that came out of my mouth on MAFS. I think the weirdest thing is, watching the final couple of weeks of MAFS, we watched some of them on the couch together, and it's a really weird scenario sitting next to someone that you
so
really
weird.
like and watching them on TV with somebody else going through a breakup, I guess, on TV. So that was just really bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, you said that the sexy photo shoot didn't get you going, but it got all of Australia going, right?
You're welcome, Australia.
Obviously, obviously you two are very attractive people. This is no news to anyone. But how weird is it, or how weird has it been for you guys? You've been together, but all of these fans are obviously getting excited over each of you as a possible single person.
Yeah, I'm sure Ev had plenty of fans before MAFS started, but we don't get to see any of the, we don't have our own social media accounts or anything, and that's probably a good thing. You're kept away from all of that stuff, so you don't really engage in any of the stuff that other people do, and they don't really know that they see what they see on TV, but there's also the old another aspect to everyone that no one gets to see.
Yeah.
However, there was a very, very funny waitress the other day. We went on this romantic dinner and she was obsessed with Duncan. She was, I don't know, more of a mature lady, and she was so cute. She took Duncan by the arms and walked him into the toilets, and it was hilarious. She was like, oh,
Customer service 101.
She was so flustered, but yeah, it's the sweetest thing ever because he's such a gentleman, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there any jealousy yet? Because you're both crazy attractive people. One day we'll stop talking about it. Today's not the day. Is there jealousy yet?
I don't have any jealousy.
Okay, so I think I haven't fully digested how big this is. If it is, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much, but if I ever do feel a certain way, I think it would be natural, but I know that Duncan is going to make me feel secure, and I feel secure in myself. So I guess it's just something that we need to navigate together because we haven't been through this before. We don't know what we're walking into. We don't know what we're stepping ourselves into. But yeah, it's good to have each other because we're going through a new experience at the same time. So it kind of makes us stronger, as cheesy as it sounds.
Yeah. Do you think it makes it easier for you guys that you both experienced the same thing as opposed to being with someone who hadn't been through what you've been through?
Good question. Yeah, probably. But then there's also harder parts as well, right? I think there was a lot more communication, although I think we both thought it was on once there was we'd kissed each other at the same time. We also had really big, long conversations really early. And I think that was because we're both coming at this unique scenario and we're like, hey, let's not jump into this unless it's something that's, really real and not something that's just a bit of fun, because otherwise it's it's a bit too public. Too many people are going to get into it. And then, that adds a lot of pressure. So I think it just made us have those big conversations early on and have lots of communication. And also said to Ev that, I think you got to probably even trust each other more than you would in somebody else that you're just meeting at the start, right? You need to be hey, there's some weird things that are probably going to come towards us, and people probably write stuff that isn't true as well. So you've got to have a really good communication method together and really trust each other.
Yeah, nice.
Well, we all know how hard it can be to keep a regular new thing, situationship on the down low. How did you keep this a secret? What lengths did you have to go to?
Well, we played a lot of board games in the privacy of our apartments, which was fun, wasn't it, babe?
Good times. Yeah.
Boat days.
Perfect. Out in the water, no paps?
Yep, bought the dogs. What else? Motorbike, helmets.
Yeah, can't see Ev on the back if she's got the full face on, so that worked well. Few researching, I don't know, where's like a nice place to walk that's not a busy place to walk, checking in with mates around like what are some secluded things you've doing, getting different ideas. You have to get pretty creative to work out like where you can spend some time together that's not in each other's units but not down at Bar Toddy's or something, right?
We weren't too good that night at the nightclub though.
No,
Yeah,
good
that
times
wasn't
got
our-
away from us.
Yeah.
But who
what
doesn't want to swing Evelyn
Yeah.
around, right?
What hour was that shot at though? Like a 4 a.m. thing? I think we all get a bit
No,
silly.
I think it was only like, 12?
Yeah, but we'd had a really interesting night at employees only beforehand, and met the owners, and we
You were looked after.
Yeah, and then so
We were overserved.
yes, we were.
So you guys were in the thick of your relationship when that video went out.
I would say it was near the start of our relationship.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how long have you guys been together for at the moment?
The timeline. Well, do you want to answer this?
Oh well, look, Mardi Gras, we met up, had a bit of a dance. I went in with my sister to watch Mardi Gras, and then caught up with Ev, and then a couple of weeks after that, we'd had a bit of a kiss and a sort of bigger discussion about things, and then it just sort of went from there.
Yeah.
Well, we
Okay.
don't blame you because Ev looks stunning that Mardi Gras weekend.
Oh my God,
Wow.
that's right.
That
Those
was
photos.
wow. I'd fall for it too. Don't blame you.
Who do we have to thank on the cast for keeping this a secret for you? Who knew, who didn't?
Janelle. Janelle is the OG. If you see this, shout out Janelle.
Yeah.
Janelle's a real one. She's one you can trust with the secrets.
Yeah,
for
100%.
For sure. And she's the only one that knew.
I think there was some speculation with some of the cast, but I think it slipped a little bit through Rupert.
Yeah, because we obviously both called him and let him know that we were gonna do that out of respect, and he was all for it. But we don't call him Loose Lips Roops for nothing. So
Right.
has a couple of beers and he just starts talking. So, but look, he's one of the closest guys that I'm with from MAFS.
So you guys called Rupert and gave him a heads up. Aren't you guys good?
Yeah,
We
look,
try.
yeah,
How did that conversation go? Replay it for me.
He was all for it when I
Yeah.
called. I think he just wants us to be happy.
Of course. Yeah. Okay.
When did you privately become exclusive, and who brought up the "so what are we" chat? Duncan, don't let us down. Don't let the women of Australia down.
yeah. As soon as we'd even had a dance at around that Mardi Gras time and a kiss a couple of weeks after, from then on, it was pretty easy for me to be like, I was totally in the relationship at that point, but we hadn't had the chat, which was quite interesting because then I took Ev to Saki. Again, had to sit out the back in like a little, private area to make sure that we didn't get seen. And then this was weeks and weeks later, and Ev was like, "You haven't actually asked me like if we're boyfriend." And I'm like, "If we're boyfriend girlfriend, like
I
I've
need
been
a
living
black and
that
white.
world for a while."
Yeah. Is it just assumed now? Like,
Yeah, not for
Nah,
me.
I need the
need it black
conversation
and
too.
white. I need Evelyn Cassandra Ellis. Will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I get confused and I just feel like it's not communicated. So, yeah, after that chat, I was like, okay, cool. But apparently for him, we were dating way before that.
So if you were still a
That
single
sounds
gal, were you out in these streets? So were you a single
No.
gal?
As soon as me and Duncan kissed, I was not interested in anyone else.
Love that.
It's so weird being like, oh. Like if my two friends were sitting, not saying we're not friends, guys, but you know, it's weird like to be like, oh, no.
I'd do that, and then if one of my friends was saying that, I'd also be like, "You're making me sick with all this mush stuff."
100%. I'm like, shut up. I think that's naturally how I want to be, but I'm just like, oh. Anyway, love you guys.
Oh, I guess on the back of the "So What Are We" chat, did you really have to sit down and consider what starting a relationship would be like in such a high pressure, highly publicized environment?
Yeah, back to what I was saying before, in that like I felt like we had to have all these conversations that you would never naturally have at that time, and then that in itself puts pressure on the situation. But it didn't feel like I thought it was going to be like a lot of pressure. I thought it was going to be uneasy, or those questions or those conversations were going to be hard, but they weren't. It's actually felt, the way I've described it is, through all this chaos and mess of coming out of MAFS, it's always felt really calm with Evelyn, whether that's how we talk or like just the presence of being around each other.
Yeah. Do you have to put a cap on how much you talk about MAFS?
Yeah, we did try to a few times.
Yeah, look, there were some situations where I think that one night we were at mine, we sat on the sofa and we were discussing what we just watched. We had to like kind of remind ourselves to just turn off and be in the moment, because there was a part where it consumed a lot of our lives, especially when it was airing on telly. So yeah, we definitely had to know when enough was enough and focus on our own personal relationship. We over-communicated that though.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
we did.
Because it's not like you can just ghost each other, you know. Sometimes when Shantz and I live together, we're really, really close friends, so we'll be like, oh yeah, we'll give it a month. You know, sorry boys if you're watching, but you can't do that. You're going to have to, even when you want to, someone starts to feel a different way, you're really going to once again sit down and hash it out. So I think it's a really beautiful thing, because it's going to force you guys to be even more mature than you already are. So yeah,
No,
well
definitely.
Yeah. And obviously you guys have navigated keeping this a secret in media as well. We talked about the dance and how that might have, you know, showed some people that you guys were more than just friends. There were some other things, right?
Okay, let's hear it.
I just want to know, did you guys do this intentionally, or did you actually fuck up when it came to like the dog in the Instagram photo and the TikTok where the arm is around Evelyn?
So well, from the dancing video, that definitely was not something that we'd planned. If anything, it was probably not the right image to be putting out there while you're trying to work each other out and go through everything. What do you think about the other two?
I think by the time the dog photo was up, I don't think we cared too much. We were like so deep into it and like really into each other, so we were like, stuff it.
So you kind of wanted people to know, like, because I get it, right? Like, if you're really happy, you're falling in love, etc., you kind of want to just get it out there. Like, no judgment from me is what I'm saying.
No. It's weird because in a normal world, you would have your socials, you would be able to go out with friends, you would be able to go to a bar or a club, but in our situation, we kind of didn't have any control. So that's just how we navigated it.
Yeah.
In our own little way.
Yeah. But now how does it feel? Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, it feels really good. You don't have to sneak around anymore, or walk down the street and, you know, not pretend you're that you don't know each other. It's back to that, like, it's just an unusual, weird situation to have to not be able to, like, if you really feel something, be like, I guess, loud and proud about it, right?
Yeah.
Sort of like people that are in relationships that don't, that sort of keep like their partner hidden from the rest of the world. Like, I think that's a really toxic, weird thing to do.
Yeah.
And so like, but we were sort of doing that in some way until we could sort of come out with it. And obviously we don't have access to our socials anyway. So
If there was anyone else on the cast, right, that would come out with a relationship just like you guys have, who do you think it would be?
I think it would be Jessie and Janelle.
Hey.
They've already shared a kiss.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
They've already shared a kiss.
Open mouthed? I feel so weird saying that.
Wait, this has
I don't
come
know,
out already.
Janelle, was it open mouth?
This has come out already, right?
I think I did say something. I think you're good.
Right, yep. So we'll go with that.
Okay, so they kissed. Okay. So
But they live in different states, so a bit of long distance.
Oh, they
there.
do now, yeah.
Ev thinks this is long distance, Manly to the city. So
That is over
long
the bridge.
distance.
OTB.
Yeah, we don't go over the bridge, baby.
yeah.
Can I just say, I think Harrison and Dan would make a really great couple too.
I think it's more Harrison and Josh. Those two are peas
Yeah, they've
in a
been
pod.
hanging out loads.
Yeah, right.
Interesting mix, those two. Interesting
Anyone
mix.
else?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Harrison and Dan. Evelyn doesn't hold grudges, does she? Before we get into the next segment, I want to just, obviously, there's been a lot of hoo-ha around you two. Anything you want to say to Australia?
Oh, yeah.
Set the record straight, you know?
Not like off camera or on camera.
Well, on camera.
On camera.
always.
Oh, okay. Nothing happened during the couple swap. See?
No, we believe you. I think that you've always been such upstanding people in the experiment. I don't think that my mind ever went there, to be honest. Like, why would you ever fuck with that when you know what the people in the editing team can do?
Yeah. And I think the other one is like, we've heard a couple of people say, talking about, the genuinism of me and Ev and questions around that. And I know people will say what they want to say, right? But like that's obviously a little bit hurtful, but they're going to ask. But no one knows what it's really like until you're in it, right?
Yeah. Well, I won't lie, Duncan. Like, there were times when I watched you and I was like, nah, surely not. Surely he just needs to be poked the wrong way and he will like have an outburst of some kind. But nah, it's just the way you are. It seems that you're just like this Prince Charming that everyone says you are.
Yeah, I'm not.
Ev?
I'm not
Any
I
answers?
don't need you to answer.
Is there a different side of Duncan that we don't see?
I think what you see is what you get, but there's definitely a more playful, humorous side to him that not a lot of people got to see on the show, which I get to see. And once I saw that, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in your announcement yesterday. You were having so much fun,
Right?
Duncan.
No one saw that. And I didn't really
Yeah.
know that about him until we had the couple swap.
Maybe that's testament to you, Ev. Maybe you're bringing it out of him.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I saw, obviously, when that announcement came out, there's a lot of comments talking about, I could see, I don't know, my persona, like my personality and how happy I looked, I guess. So you do vibe off the people around you, right? And you get the energy, or I get energy off other people. I'm an extrovert, so it's
You're
been
an extra extrovert, babe.
So yeah, I think Ev's definitely got a goofy, nerdy, funny side to her, and there's that side, and there's also the power woman who's not going to take a backward step. And so I think that goofy, funny side of Ev's, like as I am around that sort of brings out my side as well.
Oh, wow.
Yuck, disgusting.
Well-
I hate it. Stop
Well,
talking.
On that note,
I can't handle anymore. I really can't.
Let's end with our final segment. We're going to do we've stolen this a bit of TikTok, so we're going to do a Who's More couples edition.
I love this game.
I'm going to ask the first question. You want to ask the second, and we'll just
Yeah,
bounce.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Do we point or do we just say?
Point, and then you can elaborate.
It's
Okay.
a podcast, right? So we've got to say it
Right.
visually.
They're not gonna
You
hear
guys-
a
you guys-
point.
You guys point, and then you agree who, and then
Okay.
elaborate.
Okay.
And then we fight to the death.
All right, let's go. Who hit on who first?
When?
When we were having the discussion back at yours after Mardi Gras.
Was that me hitting on you?
I took it as hitting,
You were in my apartment.
and I wasn't leaving.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Who would rather stay in than go out?
So you stay in. Usually I'm a go outerer, but these days I think I have, since Duncan came into my life, I feel a calmer presence towards my little bubble. So yeah, I think I'm more stay home. Started cooking again on the winos.
Good cook too.
Bit of music pumping, doggos.
What's the go-to dish?
She actually asked me each night what I want and like come up with like your thoughts, and she'll make it happen.
God, you're good, Ev.
So I'm talking
Far
like
out.
full fish that she'd never cooked before, like stuffed with all these beautiful vegetables and chives and herbs. Then next one was like a barbecue chicken roast, and then there's been a paella as well. So actually on the way here, Ev was just asking me what I want for tonight. And I was like, I don't know. I've got to like...
Duncan, you better not fuck this up. This is the best thing ever.
I don't know what to do in the presence of a healthy relationship. I'm freaking out. I'm like, what? People cook for each other? People say nice things about each other? It's wild.
Okay, well, this one might ruin that. Who's better at keeping a secret?
Duncan is better at keeping a secret. He's really good at keeping secrets. I get too excited. Like if I buy someone a present, I'm like, I got you a present.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So definitely you.
You also don't like surprises.
Don't like surprises
Well, I
and
love
need
a
to know what to
surprise.
wear.
It's like, where are we going? I'm like, you don't get to know. I've just
I
organised
need
this
to know
date.
now.
She's like, no, I actually need to know where we're going.
Yeah. I love that king energy there. What's your star sign, Duncan?
I'm 22nd December, so
Capricorn.
but I'm on the
Same
cusp.
as
well.
with the Sag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like to work. Hard workers.
Who is most affectionate?
I think Duncan is more affectionate.
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, what's each other's love language? Have you guys spoken about this?
Of course.
Of
We
course.
have.
Yeah.
What is
So mine is physical presence.
Physical presence.
It's,
Like physical
Gifts.
gifts.
Or physical presence.
no, quality time. That's what I meant. Physical presence.
We've had
Okay.
the physical presence
So
now.
literally none of those. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so quality time and physical touch. And then I asked Ev what hers is, and she said all of them. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, great.
I think
yeah.
they're all important.
Yeah, and like for different parts of the relationship that you're in as well, right? Sometimes you need this, sometimes you need that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need this because you're feeling a certain type of way, etc., etc.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and especially going back to that like unique scenario, a lot of pressure, like coming out as a couple and stuff. I think words of affirmation in those scenarios is probably even more important. So like I've been careful in making sure that I guess overexpress some of my feelings so that that creates like a good
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
Okay, who had a better MAFS experience?
Yeah, I think my MAFS experience was a little more playful. There was more banter. We had more fun, I think, from what we saw.
Yeah, and you're still friends as well. Or we both are with Roop. So, yeah, there was some hard times in my journey on MAFS, and I think everyone saw that. But there was also lots of really good times, and getting to know all the different cast members as well. Like I wouldn't say I wouldn't change it for the world, but I'm like glad and happy that I went on it for sure.
Yeah.
It
And
all
quick
worked out.
segue. Is it weird watching you like in a relationship with someone else and
Yeah.
vice versa?
It's really weird. It's
Super
like
weird.
I'm living in the Matrix and we're in this weird dimension where we're just like, what is happening? I'm watching you. Well, Yeah, it's strange.
No, thank you. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's-
really strange.
No one should know that level of detail about anyone's ex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a name at most, a bit of top line information, not like, here you go, watch our entire relationship unfold on
Yeah.
national television.
Yeah,
fully.
it definitely takes a lot of over communication, like Dunk said, to kind of navigate through those feelings because it's freaking weird.
Yeah. And that's when words of affirmation comes in, right? I hear you. Yeah.
It's weird that you can be like, I don't know if it's like, it's not jealousy, but it's like you can like be a little bit hurt watching your partner on TV because they're with somebody else, even though you're at the very start of a relationship and you don't even really have
Yeah.
the right to feel like that just yet,
Yeah.
right? Because you haven't like
Yeah.
built it all up.
Not saying that we're actors, but I can't imagine how actors would feel if they had to like watch their partner do like a sex scene
Yeah.
in a movie.
Yeah.
Like that would be really strange because I think obviously I really like Duncan, so like seeing him like kiss another woman, it's like a really weird feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I watching?
Yeah. And then you guys had to navigate media during that time as well, where you had to like keep pretending that you were, you know, maybe on the right track with your partners. That must have been really hard as well, right?
Super hard. One thing we did to make it less hard, neither of us have watched each other's final vows.
Yeah, we promised each other no final vows.
Yeah.
Really? That
Yeah.
surprises me because you both kind of were like, peace out. Wouldn't that be good, like almost therapeutic to watch?
I think it's hard to watch someone you like break up with someone.
Didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
interesting
don't really
point.
want to see that.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Do you think you ever will watch it, or like how do you avoid that on TikTok and shit?
I'm good. I just, oh, There's
Surely-
my boyfriend breaking up. No, next.
Got you.
Yeah, wow.
Out of sight, out of
Stronger woman
mind.
than we are.
So click on it, look through the comments. What is this? What has Karen said down here?
yeah.
All right, I really went off
Okay.
track there. But who is more likely to impress the in-laws?
Duncan.
I just need to learn Cantonese. That's all.
Yeah, has there been a swap? Have we met each other's in-laws yet? That's
No.
a big step.
Yeah. Ev's met
Also-
my sister, one of my sisters. But,
Stunning, by the way. I was talking
Gorgeous.
about at the dinner party. Your sister's so
genes.
stunning. Yeah.
yeah, no, she's
Duncan's like, I don't know, how do I answer that?
she's a lovely girl.
Yeah, good genes.
You start with the sisters. That's the softer launch into the family, and then you can go from there.
Yeah.
So,
Again, really weird. It's like in a normal world, you'd be like, this is Evelyn. But because there's an experiment in the way, it's like, this is Evelyn, you know, the one from the same experiment that I did that we've all been watching. And it's like, you kind of hope that they don't have a perception of you already made up in their mind without meeting you, which I'm sure that they don't. But it's like all these new layers that you're constantly navigating and getting through.
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
valid point, hey, because they've already kind of met him in a way, and there's already this investment, and I think that's why Australia is so excited about you guys as a couple, because they've been invested in your journeys individually, and now, you know, you go on the show to find love, you're finding it. It all makes sense.
yeah.
Who is more likely to start an argument?
Ooh, I don't know.
We haven't had any arguments yet.
No.
I'll nominate myself for Tribune and say me if I'm grumpy or tired. I'm really bad with no sleep, and there's been a lot of no sleep lately, so I'll put my hand up to that.
Gorgeous.
Who has the better style?
Oh, easy, me.
Yeah, I'll give Ev that one.
Did you see Duncan's green pleather raincoat on boys' night?
I did. I'm
What
glad
was
you
that?
brought it up.
Seriously?
Some people liked it. Okay.
No one liked it.
No, this 60-year-old man at the gym the other day told me about it. He bought it up because I had some green shoes on. He's like, hey, they look like that jacket you had on.
It's-
And I was like, thank you.
It's
Oh,
burned
def-
into my head. There's like this image of you out the front of the unicorn walking with the boys, and just the green pleather is like front and center.
I was like, what is that?
Duncan, gosh, what a hard crowd.
Yeah, look, the producers tried really hard for me not to wear it, and for some reason it just got in my head that I was like, because you have to get all of your clothes approved each time, and so
Yeah.
it was like weeks in the making to get to that point, and yeah, a little bit of regret, but what's done is done.
Well, this might be you, Duncan. Who's more likely to cry in public?
Oh, I actually don't know. Obviously, whoever watched MAFS got to see me break down once. My mother was a bit shocked by that. She hasn't seen me cry too many times. But I'm also not scared to show emotions, right? So I'm fine being vulnerable or saying things that are upset me or showing that. So maybe me.
I would probably say you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's settle it once and for all. Who is the better kisser?
Oh, probably me.
Yeah, I'd say you. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm older.
More
Oh.
experience. 10 years more experience than I.
Duncan, do you have tickets on yourself? That was a strong answer. You knew that was coming.
Oh no, it's just playing it up. I don't know. How can you determine who's a better kisser? Because you like, you only
Yeah.
it only feels as good as as good as the interaction you're having, right?
Oh, that
Well-
was so profound.
Well, how weird would it be if you're like the person on the other side's not really doing much or bringing much, and then you're just sitting there like thinking that you're, I don't know.
Yeah, it's subjective,
A
right?
wizard.
Like it's like going on a first date, and one person can walk away going, best date of my life. Other person be like, it's like kissing, right? It's like
Yeah.
one person can be like, oh, passion.
It's probably more.
I know,
yeah.
it's kind of weird to be like, I'm a better kisser than you are. I don't know like how to navigate that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's
But you
more,
did.
I think it's more if how much you like the person, right? Because if you're like not that into them and then you kiss them, or maybe sometimes that's when you realise whether you like them or not, right? Once you finally kiss each other, you're like, oh no, it's not that little
Do-
feeling there is not
Yeah.
there.
I agree. At the end of a date, for me, that's the yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit sad, but anyway.
No, it's
No,
not.
seriously. Like, there's friendships that, like, you know, you give it a
You
go
just
and you're
know.
like, fuck, the kiss
Yeah.
was really bad.
Or if the kiss is really good, I'm like, okay, that's a second date. But if it's terrible, like, nah, no, thank you.
Totally.
And on
agree.
that sad note,
All right, guys, we're going to let you skedaddle because, you know, I'm sure you've got more exciting things to do with one another now that you're out in the open.
the love bubble.
Obviously, we're so happy for you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Thanks for having us on.
Bye.